Okay, I know companies like Apple are moving in the right direction to ensure your devices and account security, but I wouldn't exactly call iCloud Keychain a password manager. So, where do you turn? Let me cover the best iPhone password management 2024 options for you to consider. Right, what makes a good password manager for iOS? The 5 pillars are simple: compatibility, security, privacy, features, and ease of use. Obviously, for this video, I focused on providers that have features all accessible on iPhone. At the very least, each password manager will have the industry standard encryption cipher, followed by other security additions I consider must-haves. All of my recommendations can be the perfect password manager, but let me tell you more about them so you can pick the one that's right for you. Starting with NordPass. Not only does this provider marry ease and security so well, but it is a great iPhone password manager, seeing as you can access all the same features as the desktop version. Looking deeper, they use a more modern encryption than some competing password managers. NordPass has 2 types of multi-factor authentication methods. They even go as far as incorporating the new passwordless authentication, Passkeys. What can you do with NordPass? They have a generator that lets me create complex passwords without having to do much. Then the password health checker tool lets me monitor the whole ecosystem of my account and update any weak links. Here is the breach monitor, which works in real time and scans dark web databases for any leaked credentials. Another feature I use regularly is password sharing. This sends an encrypted version of my password to a trusted recipient, and I can alter the level of permission I want them to have, though the receiver must have a NordPass account. It is easy to use, and if you give them full permission, they will always see the updated versions of passwords. Finally, there's autofill. I found the autofill function to work well on iPhone, yet for the best experience, I recommend heading into your iPhone settings and selecting NordPass, disabling any other autofill services here. After this, I can head here, and automatically my account credentials will come up. You can even set up Face ID autofill if you've enabled that on the app. Talking about navigation, NordPass in general could be used by anyone, regardless of your level of expertise, with a simple menu at the top of the screen and features neatly categorized. How does NordPass compare with the in-house Apple password management system, iCloud Keychain? Don't get me wrong, Keychain has a good level of security, albeit their encryption is less modern than NordPass. In general, I am able to do much more than autofill and save passwords with NordPass, like securely share and get password strength analysis. Then there's broader compatibility, especially if I need to access my account from a non-Apple device. More importantly, iCloud hasn't had any independent audits. But of course, a big difference is that Keychain is free. NordPass does have a free version, but it is limited. I wouldn't recommend it for long-term use. If you really want the best functionality, test out their premium plan. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee and they're really affordable. All things considered, I'd rank NordPass as the overall best password manager for iPhone. Not only does it have all the features you'd need, but it doesn't compromise on security. If you want to get NordPass at the best price, be sure to scan the QR code on screen now or check the description down below. My next candidate is 1Password. With a less modern but equally as safe encryption cipher than NordPass and lots of 2FA options, it's a solid offering. Furthermore, they have undergone independent audits and have a zero-knowledge policy, meaning nobody at 1Password has access to your data. But where 1Password does stand out is its features. There's the standard stuff that lets you autofill, save, share, and generate passwords, but the travel mode is unique. With it, I can mark certain passwords as safe for travel, meaning I can customize what is accessible while abroad. Furthermore, there's a dark web scanner and automatic deletion of copied items after 90 seconds. Apple users even get an additional handoff feature, letting them view an item on one device and then pick it up on another. The app is reminiscent of NordPass, letting me create separate vaults for easy access like my work, personal items, and utilities. Furthermore, most stuff is accessible from the home page, and you can remove or add what you'd like to see here. The biggest difference is that 1Password is compatible with Apple Watch, and with the family plan, you can have one subscription where every member can have individual accounts with their own personalized view. What about Apple Password Manager versus 1Password? There's much more functionality, just like with any dedicated password manager. Yet the biggest advantage of 1Password is the customizations and ability to have separate vaults, especially syncing particular folders with family or business associates in real time. So, is 1Password worth it? Well, despite having no free option, you can use their entry-level plan on any device at one time. It is more expensive than NordPass, but not the most expensive provider on the market. And considering how easy they are to use, I think it's good value, especially as a family password manager. Another provider that is ideal for iPhone is Keeper. In terms of security, all boxes are ticked. They even have multiple independent security and privacy audits. Though a few features really enhance the security of your credentials, take self-destruct as an example. Once enabled, this deletes all locally stored passwords in one go if 5 failed password attempts are met. Excellent if your device ends up in the wrong hands or lost. Or you could say dramatic if nothing else. The iOS version has all the good stuff. Autofill, a password generator, a security audit of your passwords, and even a breach watch. There's even a one-time password share. Nevertheless, these aren't anything I haven't already spoken about. But something that's unique is Keeper Chat. Available as an additional app and included with a subscription, you can benefit from their very own encrypted messaging app. Think WhatsApp, only you can do neat stuff like put self-destruct timers on messages and attachments, or retract unopened messages without the recipient ever finding out. However, don't let these individual features fool you. Keeper is still just as easy to use as any other provider on this list. Though the iOS app looks different from the desktop, functionality is the same. The only thing lacking is export and import options. It's even a good password manager for Apple Watch. Despite no free version, Keeper is inexpensive, sitting in the middle of this provider's list. If you like exclusive features, it is a great option, no doubt. My final top pick is RoboForm. On the topic of security, there isn't anything much to say other than it has the right stuff going on. RoboForm is one of the oldest providers in the game and hasn't faced any breaches, which is quite a feat in and of itself. That isn't to say they are outdated in terms of what they offer though. RoboForm has one of the best examples of autofill I've seen, with templates you can customize to autofill forms. I have one created for my banking and billing information. There's password assessment, a generator, and all the essential stuff to protect your credentials. Uniquely, they have their own TOTP authenticator, meaning you wouldn't need to download third-party 2FA apps like Google Authenticator. Everything can be done with RoboForm. And it's worth noting they're accessible on all Apple products, and the mobile version is actually a lot better than the desktop. Despite the dated design, everything is accessible and easy to navigate. If you want to test out RoboForm, there's a limited free version, but with plans starting that low, it's a worthwhile option. The takeaway? With cyber criminals' advances getting more sophisticated, a password manager is more crucial than ever. Despite all of my recommendations being safe, be sure to consider what makes a best password manager for you. You can grab my exclusive deal by tapping on screen. Good luck choosing, and I'll catch you in the next one.